Going into the trial, did you have an idea in your mind about what happened?
No, because I hadn't followed the trial at all. I mean, I'd heard bits and pieces of what had happened and the names that were involved, but not any details.
When you first sat down on the jury, when you first gathered together, what was it like?
It was unreal. It was like something that why would they want to pick me? You know? Why would I be picked over all these hundreds of people that they interviewed?
The film's the story of what happened when this guy tried to make a documentary about me, but he was actually a lot more interesting than I am, so now the film is kind of about him.
Can you tell us how many times you were there?
When I agreed to this, my fundamental ground rule was that I would not be asked to divulge personal data that might help pinpoint my identity. If you continue to ask questions that are out of bounds, I won't hesitate to terminate this interview.
Are you saying that the number of times you were present at Area 51 is enough to pinpoint your identity?
Any specifics will narrow the field of suspects. Of course, I could lie.
I don't typically get to do this. My name is Andy Moss. I'm an actor, and you have definitely seen me on TV. I have been in multiple programs, most of them very critically acclaimed or very important to history, to our nation, sometimes to the world.
Do you know who Andy Moss is?
No.
He's on TV. Have you ever seen him? Do you recognize the name at all?
No. I probably should, shouldn't I?
Do you know who Andy Moss is?
Andy Moss. You like read a book or something?
He's appeared on TV quite a lot.
No bells ringing.
No bells ringing. All right. Have you ever heard of Andy Moss?
No, I haven't.
You've never seen him maybe on TV before?
He's a host? Oh no, he is a or she?
Yeah, Andy Moss. He's a gentleman.
It's a gentleman.
Yes.
I don't know him.
No, never.
I
never heard the
heard.
name or anything
No.
like that?
Is he famous?
I first met Andy on the set of an exclusive interview, the subject of which was never truly known and has now been lost to history, or at least my browser history. But Andy was the star. Andy, the true subject.
I grew up in foster care. I was Annie. Everyone called me Annie. You know, the little black orphan that wanted to be a big star. That was me. Everyone called me Annie. When I was about 22, I realized I didn't have to be in foster care anymore, so I left, dropped the D in my name, Andy.
Wait, what's Moss?
That's from my other dream, which was to be a huge wide receiver. I love the NFL. I think it's great. I love to watch it. I think it's great. So I definitely wanted to be a wide receiver, and maybe someday that could even be. I play a lot of football on my own time if I can. So of course, Randy Moss was my inspiration there.
It's been clear that Andy doesn't truly know who he is and certainly hasn't realized his dreams. A quick Google search yields evidence for such a claim, giving identity to all his aspirations without his particular identity. Even the real Andrew Moss, that is, Google's suggested Andrew Moss, wears a multitude of faces, genders, underwear. The biggest hit is English TV actor Andrew Moss, whose identity too seems entirely dependent on his work and his image.
Have you ever heard of Andy Moss?
Well, I just did. I just looked him up. He's pretty cute.
You're familiar with his body of work?
I know, but I wouldn't mind being familiar with his body. I mean, he's pretty cute. Is he single?
He is. He's absolutely single.
I do get lonely. I sort of spend a lot of time by myself. I try to put myself out there, but sometimes it doesn't always work.
It only seems appropriate that Andy seeks identity where it is entirely attainable by everyone with a connection to the internet. It would also seem like Andy would be great at becoming someone else, as internet dating mandates, but no one clicks on someone without a face to the name.
But, you know, I'm living the dream. I cannot complain. I cannot complain. I'm living my dream. I've always wanted to be a star, and now I'm on TV. I get recognized, you know. People stare. People stare. They look at me on the street. They see me. They stare. Which, most people avert their eyes. They don't look, and I think it's sort of an intimidation thing. You know, a big star walking down the street, you're not going to just go up to them and say hi. Some people do though. Some people do. Yeah. Some people will stop me and take photos. I've taken a lot of photos.
That's all right, man. Nobody.
Just lift it up just a little bit.
Yeah. No. He's taking off.
People say, "Are you a performance artist? Are you Banksy?" Which is funny because I have actually played Banksy in Exit Through the Gift Shop, his documentary. Banksy is actually 4 little English girls that do their street art.
Really?
Yeah, and I met them on set. But you know, when people think of Banksy, they think of me. They think of my image.
Who else have you been?
I've played a juror on the Zimmerman case. I had a really big interview with Lauer, Matt, and he sort of asked me questions about the Zimmerman case. I defended our verdict. The irony is not lost on me at all.
But it seems to be lost on those who see Andy, those who employ him, all of us. Andy works hard for his art, keeping his body and voice both strong and limber. Though he doesn't know his real family, he makes a ritual of striving for greatness, like his alleged relative, Brad Howell, of the real Milli Vanilli. So, how does your job work?
I work for mainly for news programs and sort of the big news media outlets. I am.
And what do you do?
What happens is they call me. I go in, they give me a script, depending on, you know, if it's breaking news or this or that. I go in there and I sit down, I read the script, I go on air with Matt or, Brian or whoever it is, Lauer. We shoot the thing and it's golden.
A week after my time with Andy, he called, telling me he had just booked his next spot. I intercepted. I showed up to see if I could ask a few questions about Andy and about the ethics of this particular news program, and their willingness to use Andy to sell these so-called anonymous, so-called breaking news stories. They declined to speak on camera.
All right. This good? All right. We do hire Andy. He is one of many performers that we have come in and read for us. Now, typically they're given a written statement from people, real people that just want to be anonymous, and we respect that. And so we have people like Andy that come in and give sort of a face to the name. It becomes more real when you have a person reading it off. You know, it's about informing the nation. It's about people. We're not exploiting Andy. Like I say, there are many performers that we have come in and do this type of work. It's a job. It's a job for people. I do know that there are other people like me. I do. I think it's. I see him on TV sometimes, or I see him online every once in a while. But I don't know him.